Ever feel like you're almost there with your English, but some subtle meanings or faster speech just slip away? You're not alone, and that's exactly why this video, part of the listening practice series on In English with Lisa, is perfect for you. I write and narrate every story myself. No AI voices here, just authentic English at a natural pace. What unexpected turns will today's story take, and what new nuances and vocabulary will you discover? Grab your notebook, get cozy, and let's dive in. The Tea Merchant's Daughter. Chapter 1. The Missing Brother. Lin Mei stood at the window of her family's home, watching the rain pour down over Shanghai's busy harbor. Ships from distant lands rocked gently in the water, their tall masts reaching towards the gray sky. It was April 1857, and the world was changing rapidly, especially in port cities like Shanghai, where East met West in an uneasy dance of commerce and power. "Father, please reconsider," Lin Mei said, turning away from the window. "You cannot travel in your condition." Merchant Zhao Wei coughed into his handkerchief, his thin shoulders shaking with the effort. When he pulled the cloth away, Lin Mei caught a glimpse of blood, though her father quickly folded it to hide the evidence. "What choice do I have?" he asked, his voice weaker than it had been even a week ago. "Your brother Jian has been missing for 3 weeks. The British tea buyers arrive in 5 days. Without this contract, our business will collapse." Lin Mei knelt beside her father's chair. At 20 years old, she had grown up in the family tea business, accompanying her father and brother to the warehouses, learning about different varieties of tea, observing negotiations. Unlike many daughters of merchants, Lin Mei could read, write, and calculate figures as well as any man, skills her progressive-minded father had insisted she learn. "Send me," she said simply. Her father shook his head. "Impossible. They will only negotiate with a man." Lin Mei stood up, determination shining in her dark eyes. "Then I will become one." That evening, as her father slept fitfully in his room, Lin Mei stood before the small mirror in her chamber. With trembling hands, she lifted the scissors and began cutting her long black hair. Locks fell to the floor like dark rain. When she finished, her hair barely reached her ears, a scandalous length for a young woman, but appropriate for a young man. From her brother's room she selected his simplest clothes: loose trousers, a plain shirt, and a formal jacket. They were slightly large on her slender frame, but not noticeably so. Her brother had always been slim and not much taller than she was. "Young Master Zhao," she whispered to her reflection, practicing lowering her voice, "a pleasure to make your acquaintance." The next morning Lin Mei presented herself to her father. He gasped when he saw her. "Mei, what have you done?" "I am Zhao Jian now," she said firmly, "your son, returned from searching for new tea sources in the countryside." She bowed formally. "The British merchants will never know the difference. I speak English well enough from my lessons. I know our business. I can do this, father." Zhao Wei studied his daughter with tired eyes. "If anyone discovers this deception—" "They won't," Lin Mei assured him. "Not if we are careful." After a long silence, her father nodded slowly. "3 rules," he said. "Never go out alone. Always keep Zhang Wei with you. He has been our bodyguard for 20 years and will protect your secret. Never allow meetings to take place here at the house where servants might reveal the truth, and never, under any circumstances, trust the foreigners completely. Lin Mei nodded solemnly. I will save our business, father, I promise. For the next 4 days, Lin Mei practiced walking with longer strides, speaking in a deeper voice, and mastering the subtle mannerisms of men. She studied her brother's account books and prepared for the negotiations ahead. On the 5th day, dressed in her brother's finest clothes, with her hair neatly combed into a masculine style, Lin Mei stood at the entrance to the busy trading house where merchants from across the world conducted business. Beside her stood Zhang Wei, the family's loyal bodyguard, a permanent frown etched on his weathered face. Remember, he muttered, speak little and observe much. That is what your brother would do. Lin Mei nodded, took a deep breath, and stepped forward to meet the British merchants who would determine her family's fate. The trading house bustled with activity. Men from China, Britain, France, and other nations huddled around tables, examining samples, arguing prices, and signing contracts. Lin Mei spotted the British delegation immediately. Three men in formal Western suits standing apart from the crowd. The tallest of them, a man with copper-colored hair and a neatly trimmed beard, noticed her approach and stepped forward. "You must be Zhao Jian," he said in accented but clear Mandarin. "I am Henry Blackwood of the East India Trading Company." He extended his hand in the Western style of greeting. Lin Mei hesitated only for a moment before grasping his hand firmly, as she had seen her brother do with foreign merchants. "Welcome to Shanghai, Mr. Blackwood," she said, keeping her voice low and steady. "I trust your journey was pleasant?" Blackwood smiled. "As pleasant as any sea voyage can be. Allow me to introduce my colleagues, Mr. James Crawford and Mr. William Davidson." The other two men nodded politely. Crawford was older, with gray at his temples and calculating eyes that seemed to miss nothing. Davidson was younger, perhaps only a few years older than Lin Mei herself, with an open, curious expression. "We were sorry to hear about your father's illness," Blackwood continued. "We had hoped to meet with him directly, as we have in previous years." "My father sends his deepest regrets," Lin Mei replied carefully. "He has instructed me to handle all negotiations in his absence. I assure you I am fully authorized to make decisions on behalf of the Zhao Tea Company." Crawford's eyebrows rose slightly. "You seem quite young to bear such responsibility." Lin Mei met his gaze steadily. "Age is not always the best measure of capability, Mr. Crawford. I have been learning this business since childhood." "Well said," Davidson remarked with a smile. "Shall we discuss the terms of our arrangement? We are particularly interested in your white and green tea varieties this season." For the next hour, Lin Mei navigated the complex negotiations with careful precision. She quoted prices, discussed quantities, and explained the unique qualities of her family's tea with the confidence born of lifelong knowledge. When they finally agreed on preliminary terms, Blackwood suggested they continue their discussion over dinner the following evening. There is an excellent restaurant near the harbor, he said, more private than this busy trading house. Lin May hesitated. Dining with foreigners would be a much more intimate setting with greater risk of discovery. That would be acceptable, she finally agreed. Until tomorrow evening, gentlemen. As she and Zhang Wei walked home, the bodyguard spoke quietly. You did well, Miss May. Your father would be proud. Lin May nodded, but her thoughts were troubled. This is only the beginning, Zhang Wei. The real challenge lies ahead. Chapter 1 Comprehension Questions. Number 1. Why does Lin May disguise herself as her brother? A. Because she wants to travel abroad. B. Because her brother has disappeared and her father is too ill to run the business. C. Because women are not allowed to leave their homes in the 19th century Shanghai. The correct answer is B. Because her brother has disappeared and her father is too ill to run the business. Number 2. How does Lin Mei prepare for her role as Xiao Jian? A. She cuts her hair, wears her brother's clothes, and practices masculine behaviors. B. She hires an actor to pretend to be her brother. C. She tells the British merchants the truth and asks for their help. The correct answer is A. She cuts her hair, wears her brother's clothes, and practices masculine behaviors. Number 3. What is Mr. Crawford's initial reaction to Lin Mei disguised as Xiao Jian? A. He is impressed by her knowledge of the tea business. B. He questions whether she is old enough for such responsibility. C. He immediately suspects she is not really Xiao Jian. The correct answer is B. He questions whether she is old enough for such responsibility. Chapter 2 Dangerous Waters. The restaurant overlooked Shanghai's bustling harbor. Through the window, Lin Mei could see ships from around the world. Massive British trading vessels, sleek American clippers, and traditional Chinese junks all sharing the same waters, much like the mix of people now sharing the city. She sat across from the three British merchants, maintaining her posture as she imagined her brother would, back straight but not stiff, hands resting casually on the table. Zhang Wei stood silently against the wall behind her, a protective shadow. The terms we discussed yesterday are generally acceptable, Lin Mei said, keeping her voice in the lower register she had practiced. However, there are 2 points I wish to clarify. Blackwood nodded, his green eyes watching her intently. Of course. First, payment must be made half in advance rather than entirely upon delivery. Recent disruptions have affected our cash reserves. Crawford frowned. That is not our usual arrangement with your father. These are not usual times, Mr. Crawford, Lin Mei countered. With the ongoing conflicts between our nations, many Chinese businesses have suffered. We must protect ourselves. She was referring, of course, to the aftermath of what foreigners called the First Opium War and the continuing tensions that threatened to erupt into another conflict. Many Chinese merchants had lost everything when trade was disrupted. A reasonable concern, Davidson said, surprising his colleagues. The political situation is indeed complicated. What is your second point, Mr. Zhao? The exclusive rights to our white tea, Lin Mei said. We cannot grant them as broadly as you propose. We have other buyers to consider. This sparked an intense negotiation that lasted through several courses of the elaborate meal. Lin Mei held her ground firmly but politely, knowing these terms would determine her family's financial survival. As they were finishing their tea, the restaurant door burst open. A group of British naval officers strode in, talking loudly and laughing. Their obvious intoxication made Lin Mei uncomfortable. Blackwood, one of the officers called out. Fancy meeting you here. Blackwood's expression tightened slightly. Captain Rogers, good evening. The naval officer approached their table, swaying slightly. Introducing the locals to civilization, are you? He asked, casting a dismissive glance at Lin Mei. We are conducting business, Captain, Blackwood replied coldly. This is Mr. Zhao of the Zhao Tea Company. Rogers peered at Lin Mei with bloodshot eyes. Doesn't look like much of a businessman to me. Too pretty by half. He laughed at his own joke. Lin Mei felt her heart race, but kept her expression neutral. Zhang Wei stepped forward slightly from his position against the wall. Captain Rogers, David said in a conciliatory tone, perhaps you and your men would enjoy a drink at our expense at another table. We are just concluding important negotiations. The captain seemed about to object when one of his companions called him back to their group. With a mock salute that bordered on insulting, he rejoined his fellow officers. My apologies for that interruption, Blackwood said quietly. Not all representatives of my country behave with appropriate respect. Lin Mei inclined her head. No need to apologize. Every nation has its various types of citizens. As they left the restaurant an hour later, Blackwood fell into step beside Lin Mei while Crawford and Davidson walked ahead. Your English is exceptional, he remarked. Few Chinese merchants speak it so well. My father believes in the value of understanding one's trading partners, Lin Mei replied carefully. Language is the first bridge to understanding. A wise philosophy. Blackwood hesitated, then added, If you don't mind my asking, we heard rumors that your brother was searching for new tea sources in Anhui province. Did he have success? The question caught Lin Mei off guard. Why was Blackwood asking about her brother's supposed journey? Some success, she answered vaguely, though the journey took longer than expected. Curious, Blackwood mused. We received reports that no one matching your brother's description had been seen in the tea regions of Anhui recently. Lin Mei felt a chill that had nothing to do with the evening air. Perhaps your informants were looking in the wrong places, Mr. Blackwood. China is a vast country. Indeed it is, he agreed, his expression unreadable in the dim light of the street lamps. Indeed it is. The next morning, Lin Mei visited the warehouses where her family's tea was stored. She needed to verify the inventory before finalizing the contract with the British. Zhang Wei accompanied her as always, his vigilant eyes scanning for any potential threats, both to her safety and to her secret. As she inspected the crates of premium white tea, a warehouse worker approached. Master Zhao, he said with a bow, there is a gentleman here to see you, a foreigner. Lin May turned to find William Davidson standing in the warehouse doorway, looking somewhat out of place among the tea crates and busy Chinese workers. "Mr. Davidson," she said, surprised, "I did not expect to see you here." He stepped forward, removing his hat. "Forgive the intrusion. I hoped to speak with you privately about a matter of some delicacy." Lin Mei glanced at Zhang Wei, who subtly shook his head, warning against any truly private conversation with the foreigner. "We can speak in my office," she said, gesturing to a small room at the back of the warehouse. "Zhang Wei will accompany us, of course." Once inside the modest office, with its desk covered in ledgers and tea samples, Davidson seemed hesitant. "What I have to say may be sensitive," he began. "Zhang Wei has my complete trust," Lin Mei assured him. "Please, speak freely." Davidson nodded. "Very well. I believe you should know that Mr. Crawford has been making inquiries about your family's business, specifically about your father's illness and your brother's recent activities." Lin Mei kept her expression neutral despite the alarm rising within her. "Our business affairs are hardly secret, Mr. Davidson. Many people know my father is unwell. These inquiries go deeper than mere business concerns," Davidson said quietly. "Crawford has connections with British government officials who take a particular interest in Chinese merchants with political leanings." Now Lin Mei understood. Some Chinese merchants were known to support rebellions against both the Qing government and foreign influence. Her family had always remained politically neutral, focusing solely on their business, but suspicion fell easily on successful Chinese enterprises. "Our family has no political interests beyond stable conditions for trade," she stated firmly. Davidson's blue eyes held hers. "I believe you, but Crawford is ambitious and sees opportunity in the current tensions. He has suggested to Blackwood that your family's tea fields might be acquired more directly, should the political situation deteriorate further." Lin May's mind raced. Was Davidson warning her out of genuine concern, or was this some kind of trap? "Why are you telling me this?" she asked directly. A faint blush colored his cheeks. "Not all Englishmen approve of the methods some of our countrymen use in foreign lands. My family has traded honorably for generations. I would like to continue that tradition." Before Lin Mei could respond, shouts erupted from the main warehouse. Zhang Wei opened the office door to reveal two Chinese officials in government uniforms accompanied by armed guards. "We are looking for Zhao Jian," one announced loudly. "We have questions regarding his recent travels and potential connections to rebellious elements." Lin Mei felt the blood drain from her face. This was exactly the type of attention she had hoped to avoid. Chapter 2, Comprehension Questions. Number 1. What is one of the changes Lin Mei wants to make to the business arrangement? A. She wants to be paid entirely after delivery. B. She wants half the payment in advance. C. She wants to sell exclusive rights to all their tea. The correct answer is B. She wants half the payment in advance. Number 2. Why does Captain Rogers' comment about Lin Mei create tension? A. Because it suggests Lin Mei might be recognized as a woman. B. Because it insults the quality of the tea. C. Because it shows disrespect to Chinese businessmen generally. correct answer is C, because it shows disrespect to Chinese businessmen generally. Number 3. What does William Davidson warn Lin May about? A. That her brother has been found. B. That Crawford is making inquiries about her family's political connections. C. That the tea warehouse might catch fire. The correct answer is B. That Crawford is making inquiries about her family's political connections. Chapter 3. True Identity. Lin May stepped forward, facing the government officials with a calm she did not feel. I am Zhao Jian. How may I assist the honorable representatives of the emperor? The lead official, a thin man with a hard expression, looked her up and down. You will accompany us to answer questions about your recent travels and associations. Davidson stepped forward. Surely this is some misunderstanding. Mr. Zhao is engaged in important trade negotiations with the British East India Company. The official barely glanced at him. Foreign affairs are not your concern. This is an internal Chinese matter. Zhang Wei moved closer to Lin Mei, his hand drifting towards the knife he kept hidden in his belt. She gave him a subtle shake of the head. Violence would only make matters worse. I am happy to answer any questions, Lin Mei said carefully, but perhaps we could arrange a meeting tomorrow. I have foreign guests today, as you can see. The second official, older and with a more measured demeanor, studied her face intently. Your cooperation would be noted favorably, he said. We can allow you 1 day to conclude your immediate business. After they departed with a promise to return the following morning, Davidson turned to Lin Mei with concern. What was that about? Are you in some kind of trouble? Political suspicions arise easily these days, she replied vaguely. Thank you for your support, Mr. Davidson, but I should return home immediately to consult with my father. As they left the warehouse, Lin May spotted a familiar figure watching them from across the street, Henry Blackwood. When their eyes met, he gave a small nod before disappearing into the crowd. Back at home, Lin May found her father in worse condition than when she had left that morning. The household physician was just leaving as she arrived. How is he? She asked anxiously, still in her male disguise. The elderly doctor shook his head. The fever has returned. He needs complete rest. No visitors, no business discussions. In her father's room, Lin May knelt beside his bed. His eyes fluttered open at her touch. May, he whispered, you must leave Shanghai. She leaned closer. What? Father, I don't understand. Your brother, he began, then paused to catch his breath. Your brother was investigating corruption among officials working with foreign merchants. That's why he disappeared. They must suspect you now. Lin May felt as if the floor had dropped from beneath her. Why didn't you tell me? To protect you, he whispered. But now you are in danger too. You must go. I won't leave you, she insisted. And what about the business? The contract with the British is almost complete. Her father's thin hand gripped hers with surprising strength. Some things are more important than business, daughter. That evening, as Lin May sat alone in her room contemplating her impossible situation, a servant announced an unexpected visitor, Henry Blackwood. Against her better judgment, she agreed to meet him in the front parlor, maintaining her disguise as Zhao Jian. Zhang Wei positioned himself by the door, watchful as always. Mr. Blackwood, she greeted him with a formal bow. This is an unusual hour for business calls. This is not exactly a business call, Blackwood replied, declining the offered seat and remaining standing. I came to return something that I believe belongs to your family. From inside his jacket he withdrew a small object wrapped in silk. When he unfolded it, Ling Mei gasped. It was her brother's jade seal, the one he always carried, his personal chop used to sign important documents. "Where did you get this?" she demanded, forgetting to modulate her voice. Blackwood's expression was grave. It was found on a British ship, the Meridian Queen, which recently arrived from Hong Kong. The captain reported that a Chinese man had been discovered stowing away. During questioning, he attempted to escape and went overboard. This was found among his few possessions. Lin May's hand trembled as she reached for the seal. "And the man?" "Lost at sea," Blackwood said quietly. "I'm sorry." The reality of her brother's fate hit Lin May like a physical blow. She turned away, struggling to maintain her composure. "Mr. Zhao," Blackwood continued gently, "or perhaps I should say Miss Zhao." Lin May froze. Slowly, she turned back to face him, aware of Zhang Wei tensing by the door. "I don't know what you mean," she tried, but her voice lacked conviction. "I've spent enough time in China to notice certain inconsistencies," Blackwood said. "Your knowledge of tea is impressive, but there are subtle mannerisms that mark you as different from the young man I met last year, the real Zhao Jian." Lin Mei sank into a chair, the pretense suddenly too heavy to maintain. "How long have you known?" "I suspected from our first meeting. I confirmed it tonight. Your reaction to your brother's seal was that of a sister, not a business partner." He took a step toward her, then stopped when Zhang Wei moved forward protectively. "Your secret is safe with me." "Why would you keep such a secret?" Lin Mei asked, bewildered. "It would invalidate our business agreement. You could demand better terms." Blackwood smiled sadly. "Some things are more important than business terms, Miss Zhao." The echo of her father's earlier words was not lost on Lin Mei. "The officials who came today," she said slowly, "they're connected to my brother's disappearance, aren't they?" Blackwood nodded. "Your brother was investigating corruption that reaches high into both Chinese and British circles in Shanghai. Certain officials have been demanding payments from merchants, threatening those who refuse with accusations of political subversion. And these officials work with someone from your company," Lin May concluded. "Mr. Crawford?" "Crawford has ambitions that exceed his morals," Blackwood confirmed. "I've been gathering evidence against him for months, but I haven't had enough to act upon." Lin May stood, decision crystallizing in her mind. When the officials return tomorrow, they will expect to find Zhao Jian. Instead, they will meet Lin Mei, who knows nothing of her brother's activities, but is managing the family business while her father is ill. "They won't simply accept that," Blackwood warned. "They will when the daughter of Zhao Wei is accompanied by representatives of the British East India Company, confirming that she has full authority to conduct business in her father's name," Lin Mei countered. "Unless they wish to create a diplomatic incident by harassing a woman with powerful foreign allies." Blackwood raised an eyebrow. A bold strategy. "Do I have those powerful foreign allies, Mr. Blackwood?" she asked directly. He held her gaze for a long moment. "You do in me, Miss Zhao, and in William Davidson, who I suspect has developed quite an admiration for Mr. Zhao and will be even more impressed by Miss Zhao." The next morning, Lin Mei dressed in her own clothes for the first time in weeks. Her short hair marked her as unconventional, but with a formal hairpin and elegant clothing, she transformed from Zhao Jian back to Lin Mei, a different kind of disguise, but one true to her identity. When the officials arrived, they found not only Lin Mei, but Blackwood, Davidson, and two other senior representatives of the East India Company. The British consul himself had sent a message expressing interest in the situation. Faced with such international attention, the officials retreated, their vague accusations impossible to pursue without revealing their own corrupt connections. 1 week later, Lin Mei signed the tea contract, as herself, with her own chop seal beside her signature. Her father, beginning to recover with the stress of secrecy lifted, watched proudly from his chair. "Your brother would be proud," he told her as the British merchants departed, "and I am prouder still." Davidson lingered after his colleagues left. "Miss Zhao," he said somewhat awkwardly, "I hope our business relationship will continue for many years to come." Lin Mei smiled. "I believe it will, Mr. Davidson, though perhaps next time you will know from the beginning who you are negotiating with." "I look forward to it," he replied with a warm smile. As she watched him leave, Lin Mei touched the jade hairpin she wore, her brother's seal, remounted as a woman's ornament. She would carry on his work in her own way, navigating the complex waters of trade, not as someone's daughter or sister, but as Lin Mei, tea merchant of Shanghai. Chapter 3 Comprehension Questions. Number 1. What does Lin Mei discover about her brother's disappearance? A. He was investigating corruption among officials working with foreign merchants. B. He ran away to start a new life in America. C. He was kidnapped by rival tea merchants. The correct answer is A. He was investigating corruption among officials working with foreign merchants. Number 2. How does Blackwood confirm that Zhao Jian is actually Lin Mei? A. Zhang Wei tells him the truth. B. Her reaction to seeing her brother's jade seal reveals her true identity. C. Crawford investigates and discovers the deception. The correct answer is B. Her reaction to seeing her brother's jade seal reveals her true identity. Number 3. How does Lin Mei resolve the situation with the officials? A. She bribes them to leave her alone. B. She escapes from Shanghai with Blackwood's help. C. She presents herself as Lin Mei with powerful British allies. The correct answer is C. She presents herself as Lin Mei with powerful British allies. Epilogue. 5 years later. Shanghai Harbor, 1862. Lin Mei stood on the deck of the merchant ship, watching the familiar shoreline of Shanghai grow larger as they approached. The salty breeze played with her hair, now grown to shoulder length and elegantly pinned. "Are you glad to be home?" William Davidson asked, joining her at the railing. A gold band gleamed on his finger, matching the one on her own hand. "Yes," she smiled, "though Anhui province has become a second home." In the 5 years since the events that changed her life, Lin Mei had transformed the Zhao Tea Company. Under her leadership, they had expanded their tea plantations and opened direct trade routes to Britain, bypassing the corrupt officials who once threatened them. Her father, now semi-retired but in better health, managed their Shanghai office while Lin Mei traveled between their various operations. Crawford had been dismissed from the East India Company after Blackwood presented evidence of his corruption, and Henry Blackwood remained a loyal friend and business ally. As the ship docked, Lin Mei saw her father waiting on the pier, waving proudly. "Ready?" William asked, offering his arm. Lin Mei nodded, thinking of how far she had come from the young woman who once disguised herself as her brother. Now she stood openly as herself, Lin Mei Davidson, tea merchant of Shanghai, known throughout the trade for her expertise, integrity, and courage. "Ready," she said, stepping forward into her future. The end.